Good evening, everyone. My name is Sumeshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living Organization to Yog Vaashishtha evening session. नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ. Just like every single day, we'll begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. रोज की तरह हम लोग अपने सत्र की शुरुआत ओम का 3 बार उच्चारण करके करेंगे. Today we are on day 106. आज हम लोग 106वें सत्र में यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं. And our today's topic will be a little bit curious topic. We all have seen the Ramayana, and we all have seen how Hanumana used to take all the different forms, how he used to travel in the space, how come he achieved those things. So there is something called as Ashta Siddhi, 8 type of natural supernatural powers that he had, and using those only he used to do all these miraculous things. So what are those? How those can be issued? That is something comes under the Chudalakhyan in Yoga Siddhi. So we are on to the chapter number 74, sub-chapter number 74, and the chapter number 6, that is called as Nirvan Purwardh Prakaran. So 6th chapter Nirvan Prakaran. In that there is a sub-chapter number 74. That is something which we'll look at today, and that is where all these descriptive Varnan, descriptions of these siddhis are given. So we'll go into details of that today, and let's see how it turns out to be. So for now, let's all close our eyes. अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें. Sit comfortably, आराम से बैठ जाए. Spine erect, shoulders relaxed, neck straight, and let us bring back our attention to our breath. Take a normal breath in and let go. Take a deep breath in and let go completely. Let us take a deep breath in for Omkar chanting. Let us invoke the divinity within. Guru का आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम पुनः पुनः Let us express our gratitude towards the divinity. Guru Vandana कर ले. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let us pray to the divinity. Whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts that hover onto mind, and the power of discrimination that arise in our intellect, the impressions that might be getting created onto your memory, and if still there is an iota of that I, me, let all those known and unknown levels of our existence be inspired by the Master alone. We, the people walking on the path of liberation, we have already experienced that liberation. Let this remaining life, and if you have to come back here again with a purpose, or even if not, let all that be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. Feel the presence of the Master within and outside, and slowly and gradually you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हैं. Jai Gurudev. So let's continue with our today's session. Today's session is chapter number 74, which we'll be looking at Chudala Akyan, and the story of Chudala and Shikhidwaja continues. So here Chudala gets enlightened with an effort, but Shikhidwaja is not yet. And then when Chudala, this Shikhidwaja goes and continue to see that changes in Chudala, then he goes and asks, how come you did achieve all these things? Kindly explain. She tells that self-realization is what has happened, and I'm self-realized. This is what is happening with me. This is how I'm experiencing all these things. He says, probably you're behaving like a kid. You don't know what you're talking, something like this. He takes that everything what she says in a joke, and then he doesn't pay an attention to that. So here Rama asks that whatever that you have mentioned while following all these things, all the adis and vyadis that will diminish, no? All the disease that will diminish from your system. So that is where the Rama asks, what are those adis? What are those vyadis? No? What is this illness? How does it comes into our body and our mind, and how do we need to take care of that? So yesterday's session we have looked into all the details of all such possibilities of all the adis and vyadis. Vyadis are the illness in the body, adis are the illness in your mind. So some concepts, some vikaras, some your stuck mind that is at the level of your mind are called adis. So when one is free from this all adis, vyadis and all other obstacles, and they move ahead on the path of yoga, so that is where they start getting the different types of powers. Some supernatural powers called siddhis. Now the word of caution here is that if we are looking at the siddhis here, we'll go through the book, but according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, according to Gurudev, whenever he speak about all these things, he says don't pay an attention to this, or don't move your journey of moving towards liberation, and don't get stuck into, don't get caught up into the different siddhis. Let them come. If it has to come, let it come. Even if it comes, let that also be useful in spreading this knowledge, in spreading the seva, doing the seva, the jana kalyan, doing something good for the humanity. Let those powers, if at all they come, and then use them into this. And being into art of living, being with the Master, many of us have seen this, that there are things that we could do it has happened when we consider with a total surrender, and when we do the things that I am not the doer, it's all the master that is doing all this. Divinity is doing all this thing through us, and then you see the miraculous results comes into our life. So that is where those siddhis work. That is where you will consider yourself as the 1000 hand, no, that Virat Swarupa of the Krishna, which is shown in Gita, that he shows that, look at me, do you think that I'm just your friend? Look at me, that Virat Swarupa, the larger than the largest. And when it comes to the ahankara, that I am the doer, the smaller than the smallest. No? I am nothing. I'm everything, I'm nothing. No? So both the ends that we experience through meditation. Buddha walks us through various these meditations in advanced course, in the Sanyam course. It takes us into the deeper and deeper aspects of those things. So that is where this, all the other siddhis, all these other powers that comes into picture when your Kundalini Shakti is arisen using the yoga, pranayama, meditation, no, dana, dharana, all these things will come into picture. No? All that's at Ashtanga Yoga, no? Which Patanjali explains as yama, niyamas, then your asanas, pranayamas, pratyahara, and then your dhyana, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. All the Ashtanga Yogas, that also comes into picture here. Practicing that comes into picture. How to practice? There are some techniques which are explained in Yog Vaashishtha also here, and we'll look at that. So we have also seen that we also read the Ramayana, and that is what this Yog Vaashishtha is, the Uttar Ramayana or Maharamayana. That how did Rama become that Purushottam? How did he used his potential to the highest possible potential of his life? How that happened? How he become liberated? That knowledge comes under as a part of Yog Vaashishtha. So this is where we see that we also saw in Ramayana that when Lord Rama goes in search of Sita, no, the Ravana took her to Sri Lanka, that Lanka, that point of time is called Lanka. So then when he is in search of Sita, that is where he happens to meet those Vanaras. No, there is this Hanumana, Sugriva, and all other Jambavanta is that. And then all these different Vanaras, Neel, all these different Vanaras that he met. And then one of them is Hanumana. And we have seen how all these Vanaras, despite of their in that body, they still had some supernatural power which they used to exhibit. No, so which are those, and what are the powers that are behind that? So it is being said that Lord Hanumana had these 8 supernatural power. Ashta Siddhis is what is called as. So which were those? So first one is said is called as anima. What is anima? Anima is an ability to become the smaller than the smallest. So we have seen that when he was going over the sea, no, he has to go the sea, no, 14 yojan, no, that 14 yojan distance that he has to go and go to the from India, no, from Bharat, he has to go to the Lanka. So he has to cross the sea, and that point of time while crossing, there is this demon that comes into picture, which is called as the Sirsha, that Rakshasi, that demon. And that her condition was that the only one who can bypass me, the only one who can go through me, via me, is that one has to really get into my mouth, and then if he is able to come back, then he is free. So it's like that whenever anybody tries to, she will eat. No, that was the whole intention. But then Hanumana took that smaller form. No, he enters into her mouth, and immediately he comes with the Pavana Veg, with the speed of the Vayu, air. He just goes inside and he comes back. So that is where he used this Anima Siddhi. So even when he reaches to the Lanka, and then so that he does not appear to all of the people, that time also he takes this Anima. He used this Siddhi called Anima, taking the smaller. Then the next one is called as Mahima. Mahima is the ability to increase the size. So we've seen that when he went to search for the Sanjeevani Bhuti, that medicinal herb which was there on the Himalaya, on the Dronagiri Parvat, and then he could not find it. He searched for that, but the time wasn't there. So he take that Virat Swarupa, and then he entire mountain itself he carries in one hand. So that is what is the Siddhi, that is called as Mahima. Then there is another Siddhi called as, third Siddhi called as Lagima, the ability to become lighter. So one can become lighter, and because of that only, if you become lighter than the lightest, then you will be able to go into the space. You will be able to travel into the space, Akasha. So that is where the Akash Daman, all these things comes into picture, that you are becoming a lighter than the lightest. Then the next Siddhi is called as Garima. So what is Garima? Becoming infinitely heavy, carrying out the weight. So once you become very, very heavy, that is called as Garima. So what is this? You become like a stable, you become very stable, like just like a mountain, you become sthir, you become stable. So where this Siddhi found, we have also seen there is a story, when the Hanumana comes into the Mahabharata, and when there is a Bhima, and Bhima has to go, and then he's traveling, and one point of time there, just to that ahankara, that ego was done in Bhima about his own powers, and to release Bhima from that ahankara, that ego, Hanumana happens to sit on his path, and his tail is there, and he just takes the Vruddha, he just becomes the old Vanara there. So when the Bhima comes, he looks at him, and he says, "Oh, I am so old. Can you please lift that tail and then put it aside? You yourself do it. You have so much power." And then when Bhima puts all an effort, he could not even lift that tail. What was this Shakti? What was this? This called as Garima. So then the next one that Siddhi comes is the Prapti, that ability to obtain anything, whatever you desire, it will come in front of your feet. That is Prapti. Then there is another Siddhi or power is called Vashitva, having a control over the things. We see even in the modern science, we see the eternity process, or we see the hypnotism, or we see the past life regression therapy. In this, they take over the control of your mind, using the hypnotism, using the techniques, they do that. So what is it that? So that is called as Vashikaran, Vashitva. So that is having a control over the things. They are able to take control of the things also, and they have a control over the people also. Then the next Siddhi is called as Prakyam, ability to acquire anything desired. Whatever you desire, you have an ability to acquire that. And the last one is the Ishitva. Ishitva is the lordship over the creation. So whatever this creation is there, the source of that, that source of that is that Atma, Paramatma, that Shiva, that Brahma, being into that state, lordship, Ishwaratva, Paramatma Tattva, that what you call is that Ishwara Tattva, that is called as Ishitva. So having that is the Anvar Siddhi. So once one has that, then what he or she cannot achieve. So these are all the 8 different Siddhis that are being said, and that Hanumana used to have that, and he used to use it whenever there was a need. So let us look at here how these Siddhis were achieved. By how? So he was the Ishvara, he was the Shiva avatar, right? So he had those Siddhis. But how does one walking on the path of yoga can come across such Siddhis? Which are all those techniques where it can help one to achieve those techniques? So some of them are explained here, not all of them, but whatever is been explained here, we'll go and look at it one by one. So we already saw that how the Kundalini is extremely important. In the last 1 or 2 sessions, we have seen how the Kundalini is there, how it is situated in the base of your spine, how it is arised and moves through all your chakras, and it moves through different energy centers in your body, and then how you can use this Kundalini Shakti to activate your chakras and use those powers in the way that you want. Not the chakras are dormant, and then using Kundalini Shakti, you are able to activate that. Then we also saw the Pancha Pranas, the 5 different types of pranas, Apana, Prana, Dhyana, Samana, and Udana Vayu, and how they help in the how moving this, channelizing this energy throughout your body. How does it move? The Prana Spandana. We also seen the Purak, Rechak, and Antar Kumbhak and Bahya Kumbhak. How does one can take the Apana as inside inhalation is called as Purak. How does it goes? How does it goes outside? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, Sarika, probably you need to check or increase the volume. How does the when we inhale, um, that is what is called as Puraka. How does we exhale? That is called as Rechak. And when we hold inside, the breath hold inside, that is called as Kumbhak. And when we release it outside, that is called, or release it outside and hold it your breath outside, that's called Baya Kumbhak. So if we do see the 3-stage pranayam, we practice this every single day. We breathe in, hold inside, we breathe out and hold outside for 2 counts. So this is 3-stage pranayam. That is what we practice every single day. So now these things are taken into little bit of more detailed level, and then let us see how does it can help in achieving those different siddhis. So here says that this Kundalini is the Mool Shakti that can take you into that Linga Deha. Linga Deha is also called as that Ativahik Sharir, the small subtle body. That is where all these subtle energies, all these subtle things comes into picture. And then we have seen that this is the Moola Bhut Adharbhut Jiva is what we call. It is that same thing which keeps moving because of the this different gatis, different apan and pran and its spandan. So that how did that happens, that I have already explained you. Now then, now let's go to the next level. I'll tell you something more than this. Now let's listen to that. He says that the Puraka means the apana vayu that goes inside your nostril and then goes inside your, and that is where there is something that pulls that thing inside. When you breathe in, there is something that goes from nasika and then it pulls something that you fill your entire lungs, right? So something which pulls that inside. So then once that happens, once you have taken the complete breath in, your breath is completely done. So there inside your throat and below that throat in your chest, there is something called as, there is one nadi. So we have seen there are 101 such nadis throughout our centers. Now we have seen the Sushmana nadi, which is the look. No, it's not physical. Sushmana nadi is the look which passes across your all the spine. Then on the left side your Chandra nadi is there. On the right side your Surya nadi is there. And even the physical 101 such nadis are there. And there are 72,000 branches of those nadi throughout your body. Likewise, we also seen on the physical and the biological perspective, you have the vagus nerve which connects your throat, your chest, and your stomach and all the navel regions. So that is called as vagus. That's the longest nerve. The 10th cranial nerve is called. So that is there inside here. So likewise, there is something somewhere here and the chest level. There is something called as Kurma nadi. What is Kurma nadi? Kurma nadi is like a tortoise. Kasava, tortoise. So the shape of that is like that kasava. So that's the reason that nadi is called as Kurma nadi. Now, what does Kurma nadi, or what does our spiritual understanding or the background of Kurma suggest us? So we have seen the Lord Vishnu have taken Dash avatars, 10 different avatars. 9 has already been taken. 10th one is going to happen in this Kali Yuga Kalki avatar, which is not yet there. So in this 9 avatara, we have seen that he has taken the Kurma avatara. What is the Kurma avatara? When at the point of Samudra Manthan, there was this Mandar Parvat, there was this mountain Mandar Parvat, and then the Vasuki, that snake, using that they used to do the Manthan, Samudra Manthan, that ocean, the churning of the ocean. So they used to say that when one does this, the things will come out of that, some amrut, jewels, and even a poison also came, that Shiva drank that. That's the reason he's called as Neelakantha. He did not allow it to reach to the inside the body, nor it allowed it to go out. So he kept it here. So that is the quality. So somebody, when listens to the bad things, does not allow them to affect, neither go and speak outside, means don't speak about it outside. That quality is called as Neelakantha. So Shiva is called Neelakantha because he holds it here. He doesn't allow it to penetrate another. So that thing. So just churning of that, when it started happening, that point of time, it used to drown. That Mandar Parvat used to drown. So that was the time when Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, took the Kurma Avatara and supported. No? It became the best for the Mandar Parvata. That is thing. So that is the effect of that. It brings that stability. No, it brings that stability in oneself. So here it is said that when one does this process of breathe in completely, and then have a complete attention. When the breathe in is complete, have a complete attention, complete focus on your core monad. So one does this practice again and again, again and again. So that is called as Antarkumbhak. So you breathe in, your Apan has gone inside, your Prana Vayu has not gone outside, and you have that air trapped inside. It's called Kumbhak. So as it is inside, you hold the breath inside. It's called Antarkumbhak, and your entire focus is on that Kurmanari. So when one such avastha happens and one such does, that point of time, that avastha, that complete, just like a Meru Parvat, no, that stability, that sairya comes, and that siddhi dawns. That siddhi is called as garima. So ability to become infinitely heavy, become stable, infinitely become heavy. So that ability is, that siddhi is called as garima. So when one does this practice, they can, on their own will, they can make their body like heavy, like a rock. They can just be stable and nobody can shake them. That stability comes into picture. So that is one of the siddhi, that garima, which we saw that when Hanumana tell Bhima was not able to live. So this is that siddhi that is called as garima. So like this is one of the practice that is been shared here. Now those who have done the Sanyam course, they all probably can relate to this, what we are talking here. So all these things, if you really want to go into experiential level, want to see, right now we are looking at the theory. We are not doing any practical here. If you really want to go and get into practical, experience it for yourself, go and do the happiness program of Art of Living. Post which you'll be able to do the advanced course. Once you have done the 4 advanced course, you'll be able to do something called as Sanyama. That Ullekh of Sanyama, that will also come. We'll see that when it comes. But if you want to experience all these things, go and do your Sanyam program. So that is what is being said here. Then he says that when does that happen? When you focus on such thing, those siddhi starts dawning you. So like this, when that Purak means that you are breathing in, that Apan Vayu that is going inside. When that happens, then your entire body, your entire inside body is now full of that Prana Vayu. So right from your Muladhara chakra till your Brahmarandra, there is something called as, in between there is this place where all your skull, the joints are there, and they come here on the center here, and that point is called as Brahmarandra. So from till that point of Brahmarandra, one breathe in completely. So you are breathing in. You are full, means entire. Abhi सांस लेने के लिए अभी जगह ही नहीं बचा. Your entire breath is complete now. So your focus obviously will move from Muladhara chakra to your Brahmarandra, till the Brahmarandra, the top of your head. Till that point of time, what will happen? The more it starts going like this, what it will do? It will also pull. It will also pull in the upward direction the Kundalini Shakti. The Kundalini Shakti, which is that serpent-like power, which is there at the base of your Muladhara chakra. Now what will happen? It will get pulled up. So, and this how does this happen? When this done is, because of that Prana Nirodha is there, because you have to stop it inside. What it will stop? It will put a pressure on your mind. It will put pressure on your body, and it will also put pressure on your Kundalini Shakti also. So it will put pressure. So because of that press, it will go right, like a current in the body. In the spinal cord, that Kundalini Shakti will rise up. So that once that Kundalini Shakti rises up and reaches to the brain, reaches to your head, and that is where the Amrita Varshava, that is where it has been said that Amrita Varshava will happen. Means that there is something called as melatonin, that secretes when such things happen, and that is called as Amrut. That is very, very, so all the helpful hormones and all the helpful rasas, all these things will be created. They are called Amruta, that's called nectar. So something will happen inside your body, even at the mind level, and then you will become free from the klesha, the dukkha, sorrow, the shrama, it will completely relax you. So klesha, dukkha, sorrow, one will become free from this when one does these kind of activities. So then when this happens, then this Kundalini Shakti will just pop up, and it will take the form of like a stick. No, it will be straight stick, and that is the one of the reason when we have heard Gurudev saying that keep your spine erect. Why? It is because of such reason that when your Kundalini Shakti is now ready to come up, that point of time, if you sit like this, then it will create a blockage. So let's not allow that happen. Keep straight. No, your spine is erect. In your neck also, it will create a blockage. No, keep your neck straight. No, so all these are reasons behind why we need to do that. So sit relaxed, but your spine is straight. That is the reason Vajrasana. In Vajrasana, what happens when we practice the 3-stage pranayama? Your spine is erect. No, Vajrasana में ऐसे नहीं बैठ सकते. Vajrasana is always your spine will be completely erect. So these are all some of the inside knowledge, inside things why we have been asked to practice certain things in a specific manner. No? So whether we understand or we don't understand, it's okay. Whatever the master have told us, it is our duty to follow the master. Guru Vachan, walk on the path which is shown by the master to us. No? So if we want to go into curious, we are going to get into details. No, then all such knowledge sessions can help us to get into more details of that. But when we do these courses, why it's not being told? Is it not that those teachers don't know? They know everything. Is it not that Gurudev did not know? Gurudev knows everything. No, why they are not told? Because then what happens? Then you will get stuck into this. Oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. My attention is gone there. No? He said, don't worry all these things. Just do whatever is being told to you. So when we listen to this, our gratitude towards the master, towards the knowledge, towards the technique gives that reassurance. No, all the doubts will be diminished. No, that sanshaya, the doubts will be diminished, and then you will be able to honor with full honor and respect. You will be able to follow our practice. So these are all the things that such knowledge sessions, such Yog Vaashishtha is what giving such insights will help us to go. But we'll not get stuck into it. When we do the practice, that point of time, we will not think it. Oh, this is no. Just forget it. This knowledge is just to increase your gratitude towards the technique. When you follow it, you do the practice. That time you just do it as it is being taught to us by our teachers. So when this happens, when the pranavayu goes up, this Kundalini Shakti, no, which is sitting like in a serpent, Vartulaka, the serpent-like things, it will stand like a stick. And then when that happens, then what will happen? While it is going up, it will also attract. No? It will attract all the nadis. No? That 72,000 nadis are there, and if you see that in that state, no, that your complete Kundalini Shakti is there. No? Even Gurudev does this in some meditation. He says that there is one central beam of light which is there. What is it that he is referring to? He is referring to your Kundalini Shakti, which is Jagrut Avastha. And then when that happens, just like that. When we see the lightning, no, how does that lightning, that branches are there, no? So like that, it will attract all the nadis, and all the nadis also will get, and they will also form that structure. You can imagine, no? So that central, so that happens. So because that all these nadis, that entire kumbhak is happening, entire that breath is happening, all those nadis will become like a balloon. Then that air will be there, and it will become like a balloon, and because of that, what will happen? That the body will become light. No? Your body will become light like a balloon. No? And that is where practicing this again and again. Then one really achieves that siddhi of something called as Akashagamana. Or these are the siddhis that is dawns in one's. So now it's not that you physically you go and you start traveling. It is at a subtle body level. You will be able to go and travel. No, Akashagamana siddhis. We have seen this happening, that this type of siddhis which were learned by Leelavati, and then she used to go and doing meditation, and she used to travel along with Saraswati. How that was? That was because of such Akashagamana siddhi. So now then it is also explained here that how this is again taken to the next level, how this one is done. So it says that in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, in the 3.14 number verses, there are 4 sutras which are told. No? So that sutras are which sutras? So the first sutra is the Deshabandha Chittasya Dharana. So this is where the concept of our Sanyam comes into picture. So the first sutra is Deshabandha Chittasya Dharana. Means what we do? Desha means a specific location. Desha is what? A specific sthal, specific location. Deshabandha Chittasya Dharana. Deshabandha means now you have started focusing your attention onto the something, one particular object. So then that is where when you think about that, that becomes your dharana. That becomes your concentration on that particular thing. So that becomes your dharana. Then the next thing is the tatra pratyayai kata anata dhyanam. So the next come is something called dhyana, meditation. So meditation is something which we do. In the meditation, all these dhyana, dharana and samadhi, all is a part of combined together when Gurudevs take it as a meditation. We term it as only dhyan, we term it as only meditation, but all these things now, all the breaths and in and out, apan vayu, prana vayu, breathe in and breathe out, focusing your attention, panchakoshas, then focusing on different chakras, then doing all these dhyana, dharana, pratyahara, keeping your attention from outward to inward and giving it something else to do, that is pratyahara. All these things have Gurudev have already, we are doing it with Gurudev. So feel very grateful to the master that what master has given us. So all these ashtanga yoga, when we do your sadhana, it's all fulfilled in the happiness program itself. So when you want to do and go it to the next level, when you want to go and bring this sattva down, this sattva more, the qualities like mudita, the quality of happiness, the qualities like maitri, karuna, compassion, all these qualities. So you need to go to increase your practices, go more deeper into it. And courses like advanced course, Sanyam course are the one which really gives us this in practical, not just intellectually. It will become your own practical experience. So he says that this is the one, that is the Jnanam. The third one, it is said as this Tadevartha Matra Nirbhasa Swarupa Shunyamiva Samadhi. So when one does this, starts with the asanas, then pranayamas, following all the yama niyamas in our life, then doing the pratyahara, then doing after that, doing the dharana, then doing the dhan, then one achieves a state of that shunya avastha, that shiva avastha, that nothingness, or that everything is I am only the one. That state, that self-realization, that samadhi is the third thing. And when we combine these things together, traya, me, kata, Sanyam. When we combine these things together, that becomes the Sanyam. So that is what is the course Sanyam. So combine together all these dhyana, dharana and samadhi together. And now this is what to do with this Sanyam. So we say that this Sanyam, with this Sanyam, when one focuses on whatever they want in their life, that will be fulfilled. But what we do in Sanyam, we ask for the qualities which can take you to the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Not that, okay, I will do Sanyam, I will want car. I will do Sanyam, I want home. I will do Sanyam, I want my partner. No. When you do Sanyam, all these qualities, that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, go and spread this knowledge. Be friendly with the people. Spread that happiness. Have that compassion towards the people who needs this knowledge. They're waiting for this. So Gurudev is, and when we look at Gurudev, he has all such qualities. So ask for that. When you are doing so much of intense sadhana, like Sanyam, like advanced course, then what to ask for? Loka samasta sukhena bhavantu. Sabki जीवन में वो सुख है, सबकी जीवन में वो शांति लाए. Ask for that. No, it's very tiny, something little here and there. So that is not worth in life. So when you are going on the path, ask for the highest. Whatever the highest is, let that come to you. That is what, even when we start this session, that is what we pray to the master. Let this existence, known, unknown levels, be inspired by you. Be inspired by that divinity. So that is where Vaashishtha Muni explained that when such things are done, And then at that point of time, if you put an attention on something, then you will start achieving that. So when you do this dhyana dharana and samadhi, and then you pay an attention that you have become like a cotton, light like a cotton, kapash it's called, cotton. So that when you focus yourself like that, you have taken that bhava, that thing as a cotton, you will become a light like cotton, and then you shall start traveling on the mukta sanchara on the earth, and then you'll start. So even there are certain stories that if you see do the Guru Puja course, you'll see there was one of the Shishya who walked on the water. So walking on the water, you'll become light like that. So you'll walk on the water, and then after that you'll become like tantu and like a light travel. So like that you'll become in the Vayu Rup. You'll become that Ativayik subtle body, and Linga Deha you will be able to travel. Akash Gaman, that is also will be done. These are the siddhis that one can achieve in their life. Then Vasishtha Muni continues that when such things happens, then what happens that one will be able to even see that we have seen that in the story of Leela Saraswati and Padmavati, we have seen that how used to Leelavati go and see in a different Brahmand, see different all those other yakshas, gandharvas and those siddhas. How that darshana can happen? Is it something that is possible through your five senses, that you'll open your eyes and see, oh, that siddha has come? He said, no, that is not the way. It is something like that. You have to practice certain things, and using that only, that siddha darshan that will come. So he says that Rama, these things are that even the ordinary people, when he achieved something like he has achieved the Indrapada, even more better than that, these yogi purush, this siddha purush, that they using the yoga abhyasa, using the practices, they are able to get the things that they want in their life. That's the reason Gurudev says, Kasya sukham na karoti viraga. When you are dispassionate about things, which is that pleasure in your life that you are not able to achieve that. So he said that I already told you that siddhi of Akash Gaman, I have told you the siddhi of Garima. Now let me tell you the one more way of how one can achieve and see the siddhas, all these siddhas which are there, how we can actually get to see them. So he says that when you actually, now we have seen the Purak, and then he is saying now go ahead and do the Rechak now. So what is it that Rechak? When you go and do the Rechak, and then that point of time, your entire pranavayu is now going out of your body, and it comes now, and then there is something called as Sushumna Nadi, and in that Sushumna Nadi, then it start attracting your Kundalini Shakti again up, and then when it reaches to, there is something called as Brahmarandra here, and in that Brahmarandra, there is a space, 12 only place. That space is called as Shodashanta. Exactly where it is been said that it is near your skull and then the joints of the skull. But where exactly that is not mentioned. So that place is called as Shodashanta. So in that Shodashanta space, if you really focus that space for even a time, Shranakal ke liye. So even if you focus there, you bring your attention over there, and that is the point of time. All the people who are traveling in this Akasha, this Sanchara, they're traveling this in a Ativayik darshan. You will be able to see them. That darshana will happen, that thing. And he says that this darshana, when this happens, they are in the Vayu Rup. They are traveling in a Ativayik Sharir, not the physical body. So, but when this the things that darshana will not happen when there is a Dushit or Maryadishit, the limited powers of your indriyas, your five senses. Using that, you will not be able to, or using any other physical, bhautik, using other physical things, you will not be able to see them. It's not possible. Only and only through yoga abhyasa, and then the susanskrit, that pure mind, that one will be able to go. That will be the jnana drishti, that one have achieved that vision to see. In the Mahabharata, Sanjaya used to see what is happening inside the battlefield. How come he got that drishti, that vision? So these are the Dura Drishti. So this is like Jnana Drishti, Dura Drishti. That is what will come, and then you will be able to see the Akash Gami Siddhas. So this is possible only through the Siddhis, Siddha Darshanas with yoga. So that is what has been explained here. Then there is another beautiful thing that is explained here, is something called as Parakaya Pravesh. What is Parakaya Pravesh? Parakaya means the other body. Kaya means the body. Kaya means sharir. Parakaya means the other's body. And Parakaya Pravesh means getting into other's body. Now, how we are not going to physically enter into someone else's body. And we are not at all talking about sex here. Parakaya Pravesh here is something that on your subtle level, when you are sitting for a meditation and you are able to get yourself into your subtle body, that subtle force, that prana is able to enter into someone else's sharir, someone else's body, and then they can enjoy whatever that person is doing. They can take care of the things. What that is called as Parakaya Pravesh. Where did we saw this Parakaya Pravesh? No, there is a story of this Shankaracharya. We all know Shankaracharya, right? He is the one who revived this complete knowledge. He wrote a Brahma Sutra that Purna Midam, everything is complete. That is the Purna. That knowledge been. So all this, he revived all these things. So he, when he was traveling across, so that is where he met Manan Mishra. There was this believer, a monk. He was believing in his own theories, and then Shankaracharya had a Shastra, the manthan, the discussion that we sit together, have a brainstorm session. They had the brainstorm Shastra. So they used to challenge each other. Tell me this, tell me this. They can ask questions to each other. So when everything is being answered by Shankaracharya, the Manan Mishra's wife, she was also very intelligent lady. So she said that he is Brahmachari. So how he will know about the Kama Sutras? No? He won't know that because he is not married. How will you know that? And then she goes and tell, you go and ask this question to him. And then when Manan Mishra asks, obviously he become Niruttar. Cannot say anything, no, Shankaracharya. But then what he does, because he is a yogi, he has those powers. Then he goes and sit in a meditation inside in a closed room, and then he happens to get through his Ativayik Sharir, gets inside to the body who is just lost, that king who has lost his prana, and he enters into his body. He goes and does all the bhogas, all the things in the form of that king. When it is completed, he comes back into his own body, and that is when he comes back into the Shastrata, and that is where he speaks about all the Kama Sutra. He tells that this is all thing. That is where both of them, because this is not something which is it's something which is beyond people's comprehension, right? So that is what he shows his powers, So that is when both of them bow down and they become the Shishya. So Manan Mishra also becomes the Shishya. He gets his different name, So if you listen to Guru Puja, you'll see all those 4 Shishyas of Shankaracharya. So that is where the Parakaya Pravesh, So that Siddhi that's also one of the Siddhi. So here Vashishtha Muni says that Rama, let me tell you one more thing about something called as Parakaya Pravesh. How does one can get into others' body? So he says that when the Rechak happens, Rechak means the outgoing, prana is going out now. When the Rechak Prakriya is happening, at that point of time, your pranavayu goes from inside, it goes upward, and through your nostril, it's coming out. So now, outside your mukh, we have seen this earlier also. So outside your mouth, if you have this 12 finger space, there is this space called outside Sandhisthan, where your prana and apana, means your prana has reached there, apana has not yet started, and you are not started inhaling, but the prana has completely stopped, you have completely exhaled already, and that space, that 12 space, 6 to 8 inch, that space is there. To that space, if you focus on that, so breathing has not yet started, that's called Bahya Kumbhak. And then when one does focus on this Bahya Kumbhak, then and practice that point of time, your Kundalini Shakti comes out of your Sharira, comes out of your body, and then it is sthit, it is there in that avastha, in the form of a Bahya Kumbhaka. And when it is there, now that prana is there in the Vayu Rup form. It's there in the Vayu, and then that point of time, it can leave that thing and get into other body. So it is the practice of this for more time. So let's just, we all know this, even there is no need to practice. We do this in a 3-stage plan. We actually breathe out, and then for the 2 count, where do we stop the breath? Outside. You're not start inhaling the breath. You're just keeping that empty stomach. No? And if you practice more and more such things, that is the way. Now there are certain things we need not get into details of this, because why it's not being advised here. The reason why I'm putting this as a word of caution here, because see, if you practice this without the master around, and if you happen to take that your prana outside, and if you are not able to come back in your body, the people will think you are gone. And then if your body is disposed, then you will not be able to come back into your own sharia. So don't do that adventure at home. Do the practice of whatever is being told by the master. Master has given so much. That itself is in abundance. I am telling you. How many years? 2003 onwards I'm there. We have many teachers here. Sangeeta ji is 25 years. We have been given abundance. Right? There is so much that is given. So whatever is being taught by the master, do that. If you do that, and then hook on to advanced courses once while there, hook on to your Sanyam courses, you have. Then Gyan Bhairav is also there. Is the highest knowledge, supreme knowledge he is giving, is already given. So be with that. So all these things are, it's okay for the curiosity we are listening. It will enhance your practice. The quality of your practices will definitely enhance after listening to this knowledge. That's for sure. So when this happens, then one are able to go and this thing into it. Then he also explained there are 2 more siddhis called as anima and mahima. So what is anima? We already seen that anima is there, that we can actually do the sukshma, smaller than the smallest, and the mahima, that is the vishal rup, the larger and the largest. So how is that is being done? So it's just like that in our body, like a kamala kosha, that lotus is there, and that lotus has that in particulars. So there is just like that bhunga is there, that brahmar is there. So that bee is there, and how does that bee actually gets into there? And just like an agni kan, how does this light chingari, that spot of agni is there, that kan is there, that kan is there inside the, if you see that in the megha inside there, in the evening time frame, how does that lightning comes and you see that spark? So like that it sees. So when that prana and apana, that sangarsha happens, that virodha direction happens, that is the point of time that Jatharagni is pradyut. That Agni, that Garshan, that Ushma, that Jatharagni happens, and it is that Jatharagni, a spot of that Jatharagni which is there. So when the people does the pranayama and etc., all this abhyasa, then that point of time, this energy, that chingari, that Jatharagni, just does not remain only into that particular spot, but it spread across your entire body. Then it goes first into all, that is, our body is made up of this Panchamahabhuta, 5 elements. So then what it does, the first thing, it suffers down that Prithvi Tattva, that earth element. So then your Parthiv Sharir, this Jada, this body is there, that thing is, it is liquidified. Then it's same that goes and it goes with the Jala Tattva also. So that Agni will completely dry out that Jala Tattva. Agni, that Jala Tattva is completely dried out. So that point of time, your base, as that Jiva Chetna and that Kundalini is completely arisen, and these physical aspects of your body now are completely diminished. All these things are not happen physically. It's happened at the very subtle level. And that is the point of time in the Manorup and at the level of Mano, mind. And you get into something called as Ativaik Shari, something called as Linga there. Subtle body is that is called as, one goes into that, and this Parthiv and the Jaliya Sharir. This body is made up of water, we all know. This body is having that earth element, space element, or fire element, we all know that. So dropping behind all these things, getting into that Akash Tattva, getting into that space element, getting into that fire element. You go up, how the fire goes up. So that element. So using that, that just like an fumes that comes out of the fire, like that the Ativaik Sharir, that in the extremely miraculous manner, this Chaitanya is able to assume that Sukshma form, and then it is able to come out of this, and then it can go and then spread, it can travel. So that is what is being said. And then this Kundalini Shakti, then when it leaves this Jal, that Jala Tattva, that water element, and it comes up, and then when that also drops, that thing, whatever the Ichit Akara, whatever the desired form, you'll be able to achieve that. What is the form? No? Whatever the form that you think in that state, you'll be achieved. You will become smaller than the smallest. If you going to become larger than the largest. So that Jiva Shakti, no? It will from the Meru Parvat, just like a Meru Parvat big and like a mustard small. You will be able to do these Siddhis. I'll call Anima and Mahima Siddhi. So while doing this, Vaashishtha says that Rama, don't forget at Jnana Bhumika. We have seen the 7 type of Bhumikas, no? That thing that you don't forget that in that Mukhya is this this Animadi Siddhi. These are the things that come, and it talks about the Jnana Siddhi. We have seen this Jnana Samadhi, Jnana Siddhi. So Vaashishtha Muni once again goes and repeat that it's really, really important while walking on this path, that Atma, that self-realization, so that Atma Bhava, which is Sarvavapi, which is omnipresent, omnipotent, which is Niranjan, which is Chinmatra, Nirmal, which is pure, Dhyana of that, I am that, no? So the way Sudarshan Kriya, Anusandhan, then all this Jada Vastu, Atma Bhavana, Nasht. It means all these things, physical things inside this Jagat, universe will disappear. That is what is very important, and one needs to really continue to do that. No? So this using all these techniques, when Chudala goes inside the forest, using all these practices, Chudala has achieved all these things. No? She has this Chudala Siddhi Vaibhav. She has all these wealths, no? This sampattis, that with these wealths, these siddhis have done in Chudala. And then she says that Rama, like this, when sitting at one place, when she practiced, she gets all these Akash, Gamana, Anima, Garima, no, all these siddhis that Chudala comes. So when she is doing now, then other thing, she is able to go and able to talk with the Bhuta Pishacha ghost, no, the different forms, then Pashu Pakshi, even the birds, no, then the snakes, the Asuras, the Devs, Apsaras. She is able to interact with them because she is able to travel with that subtle bodies. All these things happen. So it's explained how that about that transformation into her life. So when these things happen, there Rama asked the question to Vaashishtha Muni that when she is become such a Siddhi yogini, but then why she did not put an effort and then make Shikidhvaj also, and why he did not got into this Atma knowledge and this. No? So what else, if that is not then, she is not possible for her. What is it that will help Shikidhvaja? That is where Vaashishtha Muni reiterate this, that it is the Aatm Buddhi. That is the only way to achieve the Atma Sakshakara, and nobody else on this planet will be able to make you realize that. It is only it is only you and you. It is only your own self-effort. Unless until you, Guru will be there. Guru will show you the path. But then who you are, who will know the answer for that? It's only you. When that joke was there, no? When Gurudev asked somebody that COVID virus, he knows that he is that. He said the virus only will know it. Because there is nobody else will tell, no? Nobody else will do it. It's the only virus will be able to tell what that is. No? So it is only you only are capable. Only that self is capable of knowing itself. Because of that, unless and until Shikidhaj wants to do it, Shikidhaj wants to go into that path. He wants to walk on that path. He starts walking on that path. And once he reaches to that stage and realizing it, it is the only way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Nobody should tell you the answer for so. Nobody should tell you the answer for code. Who am I? If somebody is telling, don't listen to them, run away. Because you are the only one who will be able to experience that. And will that be through 5 senses? No. It will be just at experiential level. It is beyond your 5 senses. When somebody asks you to explain that, you will not be able to explain. Because it's not physical experience to explain it. So that is like this. So here, then Rama asked the question that Bhagavan, Then what is the importance of Guru over here? What is the Guru is there? And then how does his drishti can help here? Then the Vaashishtha Muni says that, hey Ragha, let me tell you one story. So he tells a story. We'll conclude that story, very small story. So he says that once upon a time, there is something called, which is, in olden age, there is something called as kavdi. It's very small, tiny things which you find in the ocean. So that is the, basically it's a shell. We can call it as a shell, small shell. So that is called as kavdi. So then once upon a time, there was this, around Vindhya Parvata, there was this businessman. But that businessman was very kanjush. He was very miser. So he is not to spend while traveling on this. Once upon a time, he was traveling through a forest, and that one kavdi means basically something which is worthless, something which is smallest unit of give and take. That point of time they used to, so smallest, like 1 paisa. So that is what is called kavdi. Even there is a saying that kavdi ke bhi kimmat nahi hai usko, mane is worthless. So that kavdi he happens to lost. But then he does not even want to lose that. Also, he starts searching. So he search and search and search and search, and then finally he gets something called as Chintamani. So when he gets that Chintamani, he happens to go from there, and then he enjoys that fruit of that Chinta. So there Vaashishtha Muni said that this is how it is. So Guru will tell you certain things. Guru will ask you to walk on certain paths, and then you are walking on certain paths, and you never know what will you get. That you are doing your yoga, pranayama, meditation, you never know when you will become Atma Gyani. That Chintamani, when it can come, nobody knows. So it can come even like this also. So that is the story here, things. So it is very, very important. Vaashishtha Muni is very clear that Guru Upadesha, that Anveshan that one says, that whatever the search, that seeking has started, when you are walking on that path, that is Guru Upadesh, that is very, very important for one to go ahead and continue to. It's such a vilakshan, such a amazing thing that has been said here. So he continues, and he says that one fine day, even this Raja is there, Shikidvaj Raja, when he looks at all these things, he also ultimately gets into Vairagya. He says that, oh, what I am doing, what is Chudala? I used to tell him, he used to not pay an attention to her. But one fine day, he is got into that, oh, I am caught up into this moha, these things. And then because of that, he used to stay away from the people. Exactly the similar state Vaashishtha said, exactly the similar state which is happening with you. That things started happening with Chikidvaja. He did all the other things. He used to go to ashrams, he used to go to Brahmanas, Gurukulas, ashram, needy people, Aptajan. He used to donate them anything, but still he could not get that peace of mind over here. When one fine day he goes to and shares his thing with Chudala, he explained that, see, this is what is happening with me. That I have enjoyed all these pleasures of this entire kingdom, but now I am feeling completely detached from this. I have achieved that virakti, and I feel like leaving all this thing behind and going into the forest and do my sadhana, seva, satsang, whatever he wants to do. He wants to do that. Listening to this, Chudala says that everything that is to be done is to be done at the proper time. Look at you, you are still young. You have the responsibility of the kingdom. How can you, even if you say that in this Vasant Rutu is there, this season, and if there is fruit, that point of time only that fruit will, if it doesn't come at that point of time, then how it will be. So when you that thing, how can you drop your responsibilities and go into the forest? Okay? So that is not good. She is advising him, don't do this, that's not required, look at me. And she means to say, look at me, I am also here, I'm also doing all my things, no, but yet I could achieve that. You can also achieve. These things are not here. But Shikidvaja doesn't listen to her. He says that, Priye, probably you may not like what I'm saying, but I really need to go. And then that is what exactly he does. One fine day, in the night, he tells all the other soldiers that he has to go and fight with the enemy. And like that, he goes, and when everybody is sleeping, he happens to leave his kingdom. When he comes on the, just before entering the barrack, he is addressing his own thing as a Raja Lakshmi. So he says, I bow down to you. Till this point of time, I was there with you, the kingdom, and then after that he leaves that place and gets into the forest. That is where he finds a place for him to do the meditation, do the nitya karma, daily routine, and he starts doing that. That is where the chapter number 74 concludes here. Tomorrow we'll see how does then Chudala goes, and how does Chudala tries to help him. What happens with Chikidwaja? All these things will be a surprise for us. So we'll see that tomorrow. For today, we'd like to conclude this session today. I'd like to open this session to all of you. Let's have a question answer session. If you have any questions, we can ask that, and then after that, one by one, you can also share our techniques. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev. The unmute option is now open here. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions. Yes, Dr. Rita, please go ahead.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. The session was so good, so informative. I have never was explained to me as these siddhis, all the siddhis, these were so nicely explained. I'm so grateful. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
Jai Gurudev, Dr. Rita. This knowledge is of Yog Vaashishtha. This has been already given to the master. All of us are there. We have been going through this. It is just that now we feel very grateful to the master. That what master? So amazing.
I'm there here in the Art of Living for the last 14 years. I have done this, Sanyam course also, this Sandhya Bandhan. But these they are explained to me today only. I'm very grateful. Very.
We all are grateful to the master. Ha, Savita ji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Someshwar ji. It was really very beautiful, lovely session, I can tell you. Those siddhis, which are the supernatural powers, and it is like granted by the goddess Sita to Lord Hanuman. So it is those siddhis which are given over here, and then of course Hanuman Chalisa also we read it. Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi ke data, Asabara Dina Janki Mata. Means Janki Mata, actually Sita Mata grants a boon to become the bestover of 8 siddhis. That are those supernatural powers, and 9 nidhis. So you have explained it very well. Like the ability to reduce one size is the first one. That is Anima, Mahima, it is to increase one size, Garima to become heavier, Laghima to become lighter, and Prapti to obtain anything, and Prakamya is to fulfill your desires, Ishtava is to lordship over the creation, and Vasteva, it is to control over everything. So that is just a revision for myself, and my takeaway is this key: let us also be bestowed with these siddhis by the supernatural powers, isn't it? Coming here, doing your meditations, might be we are granted the boon. So just hoping for that. And these were really nice. Did we cover the nidhis also? Actually, I'm not sure about it.
No, it is not.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear it, but then still just to confirm it. So these 8 siddhis are the best ones. Let us just wait for the boon to be, with the boom. Thank you. Jai Gurudev. Over to all of you for your sharing.
Savita ji wanted to say something. Savita ji, please go ahead. It seems Savita ji has posted it on the chat here. She's saying excellent session. Bhosle sir, please go ahead. किसी को अपने आप को व्यक्त करना है तो आप जरूर अनम्यूट करके बात कर सकते हैं. If not, then we'll conclude today's session here. आज के इस सत्र को हम लोग यहीं पे समापन करते हैं. जय गुरुदेव.